Hello and welcome to Pulp Herb Reads Things. I'm Herb, and here we talk about books I'm reading, books I've read, and books I plan to read. Tonight is our second Garbaugust video with my third Garbaugust book, Falklands Gambit by Bob Langley. Just to refresh your bay, I'll give you the back cover again. The American Who Knew Too Much. February 1982. From the moment American David Riker impulsively befriends a fugitive named Colonel Hugo Pinilla on a night bus traveling in rural Argentina, he becomes an object of special interest to the secret police. But it is not until he meets attractive Anne Danby that Riker begins to understand the importance of Pinilla and why his shocking plan must be stopped. Riker is also drawn into an association with millionaire Magnus Stone and an assassin from the Argentine army named Segunda. But here in this place, at this time, associations are meant to be broken, and innocent Americans don't live very long unless they move quickly. Riker's rapid descent into danger takes him from cosmopolitan Buenos Aires to a hidden Argentine death camp, or to a hidden Antarctic death camp, and finally to a desperate showdown on a windswept Falklands beach as war explodes and is heard around the world. As should be obvious to anybody who remembers or has read about it, this book is set in the lead up to and pretty much the first day and a half of the Falklands War. The last scene in the book proper happens on the afternoon after the British surrender. The invasion was a little bit the night before, so it covers from early February through the beginning of April, about 2 months. And it was a fun read. I had a good time. As I talked about in my last video, I bought this at the local paperback exchange in their back. No trade. These 4 Sharpie marks are you can't bring it back, but it's only, I think it's $1.50 now. They used to be $1 or $1.25, but it's gone up. But it was fun. I enjoyed reading it. Our main character is more than a little naive, very much the innocent American abroad. His initial encounter with Colonel Pinilla is very casual, and his choice is very stupid. He survived it amazingly, but he grows up quite a bit over the book. This is not a coming-of-age tale by any means, but he has to do some growing up. And he does find, he doesn't find courage. He's a pretty courageous guy through the entire book. His helping Pinilla at the beginning is not as courageous as he realizes, but was pretty stupid. Some things I found really interesting about this book. It drew a lot on the dirty war of the 70s to give the tension with Segunda, the gaucho, as he's called by other characters in the book, as a very dangerous man who was involved in the dirty war in the 70s. If you're not familiar with the dirty war in the 70s, Argentina had a lot of left-wing violence, terrorism. I think it's fair to say a lot of it's terrorism, as well as a lot of activism. And when the elected government kind of couldn't handle it, they wound up being displaced by a military junta who treated this is a war, not a police activity, and a dirty war. There's a reason it's called the Dirty War. If you've heard of Los Desaparecidos, they're from that war, and they're mentioned in the book. It is a fear brought up to David and others. It's something he confronts people with. The plot moves fairly quickly. It has twists and turns like you would expect in any good thriller. The author did an okay job of making all of them plausible. The big betrayal that occurs at about the 2/3, 3/4 point is plausible, but there was a piece of information that made it understandable that we only got after, and I think the author could have found a way to give us that information in the lead up in a way that it didn't stand out to us. But he did have a parallel character with something similar that I made it plausible when I read it. I just felt I'd been a little deceived. It's a lot like if you've seen the movie Murder by Death, when the host of the dinner with all the famous detective writers, uh, confronts them at the end. One of his accusations is characters introduced in the last chapter, and it's not quite that bad, but it's on the road to there. The death camp in Argentina, actually, or the death camp in Antarctica, led to some very interesting scenes. The best action in the book is related to that. I very much liked the character of Pagunda. Oh, Segunda, not Pagunda, Segunda. The characters all talk about how he's hard not to like, even though they all have reasons to not like him. And I think the reader gets the same experience. I really, really thought that was a well done character. I would like in my own writing to be able to pull that off. Are you going to come? Do you want to be on camera? Well, come here, little lady. We'll take a break here. Oh no, I thought we were going to have. I thought my little black dragon kitty was going to come join us, but apparently not. So, my final verdict, Little Library. I won't read it again, and it's not something I'm going to press on a friend, but I don't want it to just go away. So I'm going to take it and drop it in a Little Library along with my first book, The Monkey King. Sorcerer's Skull, as I said, staying with me. I have started reading book 3, The Warrior Within by Sharon Green. I have one more book after this in my initial selection, but I'm actually well ahead of where I thought I'd be this far in the month. I thought I'd be reading and finishing Falklands Gambit this week. As I've said more than once on the channel, I'm a slow reader, but Garbaugust clearly inspires me because I got more read last August than I had the year up to then, and I might pull that off again this month. I'm not going to say what the next book in the queue is because I want people to think about it based on this clue. If you know what book I'm talking about, please answer in the comments. And it is the novel that was adapted into the first movie Tom Hanks had a starring role in, which is also available on Amazon on DVD. I checked. It is obviously from all the way back in the 80s. I did read this book when I was in high school when it came out. And it's trashy both because of the author, and it is very much a lurid cash-in on current events. But we'll talk about that all in a couple of weeks, or maybe next week, depending on when I finish it. Right now we're doing The Warrior Within. And if I need another book, I had mentioned that Green was inspired, although not necessarily in a positive way, by the Gore books. And in fact, on the back it says, if you like John Norman, you'll like Sharon Green. I was unpacking a box, and among the things I discovered is my copy of Tarnsman of Gore, the first Gore book, which way back in the first Garbaugust, when I was going to do this and didn't get around to it, which next week's book was bought for, and this was bought for way back then, I had dug out my copy of Tarnsman of Gore to read both the Sharon Green and it. And so I think that will be book 6 if I get to book 6 this month. Anyway, I hope everyone's having a fun Garbaugust. I have watched some Garbaugust videos. Ollie cleared more books last week than I plan on clearing all month, but I will never read as fast as him. But I do thank him for creating this event because I'm having a lot of fun with it. I was talking about at work. One thing from Falklands Gambit that I wanted to bring up that I think gives it. Somebody in the comment on the last video said Hallmark movie adaptations were niche trash. Well, this may be niche trash too, because this is the back page of the book. If you can't really see it, it is an ad for a contest to win a car with Bantam's Grand Slam sweepstakes. Grand prize, I'm sorry, not a car. 2 brand new his and her Chevrolets, a sporty new Camaro and an elegant Caprice, and $10,000 in cash. Plus, every month through 1988, a chance to win a brand new Chevrolet. No purchase necessary, but for details, you see these upcoming books: The Unloved, Till the Real Thing Comes Along, Mafia Enforcer, US only, and The Parson's Daughter, Canada only. I hadn't thought of it until reading that just now, but maybe I need to hunt down those 4 books, or at least the 3 US ones, and see if I can get the Canadian one for next Garbaugust. But this book is from '85, and this is I'd never seen anything like this. I'm used to seeing card-in sets with the mail-in reply card, for those who can remember them, for things like the Science Fiction Book Club. I even have some very old paperbacks from the '70s, I think, maybe the '60s, that had rigid inserts for cigarette ads. And of course, I remember publishers advertising their other books in the back of a book, often with order information. Dover still does that for the reprints. I'm checking. The Daw did not do it in this one, but I think a current events thriller with a win a new car ad in the back does also count as niche trash. So thank you for tuning in. Have fun with your reading. I hope you're having fun hearing about mine, and we will see you next week.